Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to have a look at the looping functions that are available. So we're going to look at for loop and while loop. So the for loop is basically used to iterate over a sequence. So when I say a sequence, it would be a list, a tuple, a dictionary, a set or a string. So you'll see list, tuples and dictionaries later, but let's just try and understand what this is. So if I have a set of numbers, okay, and that's a list basically, and let's say 1 2 3 4 5 67 89 100. All right, and now I use the for loop. So for x in numbers, I want it to print x. Control Shift F10, and there you go. So it first printed 1, right? It traveled through this list, first printed 1. After 1, it went again and printed 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and like that you're seeing all these numbers printed in over here. So this is how you make use of the for loop. Alright, and the same way you can also loop through a string. So when I say you can loop through a string, you can write a variable x which has a string. You've seen this earlier as well, but I'm just trying to show it to you once again. So for x that has the value fruits, let's say for a in x, print a. Control Shift F10, and there you go. Each letter has been printed individually, and then it breaks in. Alright, now comes the break statement. So there's something called as the break statement, where you can stop the loop before everything gets covered into it. Alright, so similarly how we had numbers, let me just hit Control Z and see if we can go back. Awesome. So over here for x in numbers, you wanted to print x so that it loops through the entire thing and prints each and every number. So if you wanted to stop at a certain point, like for example, you want to stop it once it reaches 5. Okay, so you can use an if condition here and say if x, which is the number that is being looped, equals to 5, then you want it to break. So break is where it will break through the loop. So Control Shift F10, and there you go. It printed it till 5, and when the value of 5 became equal to x, it used the break function or the break statement to stop. So let's try this again with 89. Alright, Control Shift F10, and there you go. It stopped it at 89. So the value has to be present. So if I try 98 and F10, you're seeing it printed everything, even the 100. So it's not like it is going through one number, it's going through this list. Alright, so that is the break statement. Then comes the continue statement. So the continue statement, with the continue statement, you can basically stop the loop and continue with the next part of it. Alright, so when I say that, in the same thing itself, when x is in numbers, you want it to first check if x is equal to, let's say 4, and once it is equal to 4, you want it to continue. And what you wanted to continue? You wanted to continue to print x. So what it will do is, it will go through this list. It will look for the condition where x will be equal to 4, and once x is equal to 4, it will then continue printing. So Control Shift F10, there you can see what it did. It printed it till 3, skipped 4, and then print the rest of it. Alright, so this is where you stopped the iteration till 3, then skipped 4 or continue, pass through 4, and then move to the next part. Okay, similarly you have for x in, and this is the keyword range. So the range function is basically something that will return to you a sequence of numbers, okay, and it will start from 0 by default. if you write a range of 0 to 100 say, for example, and you wanted it to, never forget the column, print X F10, there you go. See how it's printing everything from 0 all the way till 100. So that is where the range command comes in. So the range command by default takes it in from 0. But if you don't want it to take it from 0, then what you can do is you can add a value in here. So if I say 40, 100, okay, and Control Shift F10, notice that it will start from 40 and it will end at 99. So why 99 and not 100? That is because the loop will run through, but it will stop at 99. So you've given 100, so it will stop at 99. Similarly, if you gave 50, it would stop at 49. Alright, so it won't print the last number. Okay. So I hope you've understood this. Then comes the while loop. So Python basically has only two loops in it, which are the primitive loops. It's while and for. So the while loop will let you execute a set of statements while it is true. That's it. So if I is equal to 1, while I is less than 6, you want it to print I. And you also want I to be incremented by 1. Okay. So what this will do is it will print 1 for the value of I, and it'll keep increasing it till it is less than 6. And when it is less than 6, it will stop printing. So Control Shift and F10, and there you go. It printed it till 5 and then it stopped. Okay. So this was a while statement. Similarly, you can also have a break in this as well, where again, while it is less than 6, you want it to print I, but if I will become equal to 3, you want it to break. Again, we're going to have the increment value here, and Control Shift F10. There you go. So we wanted a while statement in which the I is value is less than 6, and you wanted it to continuously print I till I is less than 6. But as soon as I reaches the value of 3, it breaks your loop. So your loop gets stopped. It's similar to what we did in for loop. And again in this too, you have the continue statement, where if I is equal to 3, we want it to continue. So it will just print it till 2, and when it reaches 3, it will continue and print 4, 5 and 6. 4 and 5, sorry. So Control Shift F10. Okay, we're in a continuous loop. So let's stop this. Alright, so that's because I added this over here, which made me go into a permanent loop. So here I wanted to do I plus 1. Alright, and then if I is equal to 3, you continue, and then you continue to print I. Control Shift F10. There you go. So the value of I kept incrementing, and first it is already 1, and then it passed through this loop where it incremented, became 2, got printed, then it reached 3 where it just skipped it, then 4, 5 and 6 came in. Alright. So this was the continue statement with while, and that is it for your for and while loop. What I've given to you is a very basic example, and this is only so that you can understand the for and while loops better. So they're a fun topic to play with though. Anyway, I'll see you in the next lecture, and in the next lecture we'll be looking at functions as arguments. Alright, so another functional programming part of it, and we'll enjoy that. So see you there. Thank you.